Yo, it's me. Welcome to today's live stream, ladies and gentlemen. We have a few topics to discuss. I'll also quickly make sure that everybody can see the stream because, recently I'm not a streamer, I'm a programmer. That does not necessarily make me a, how should I say, knowing what I'm doing here. If you can hear me and if you can see me, please leave a quick like and also tell me today's topic is about basically, I should say, getting a job and how to do that. And I do think the YouTube stream at least is live and maybe also LinkedIn. So leave me a quick comment if you can hear me, if you can see me. I'll also move to the streaming computer over here, and I should learn how to do this because obviously this is not working for some of you. Right? Anyways, the people that can see me, right, can leave a comment, and that's all fun and games at this point, right? Let's talk about getting a job, right? And I also want you to give me a little comment, a little chat message. What is your current job, right? Because kind of depends. Is your background, are you already in IT in some capacity? Are you something completely different? Are you a bus driver? Are you maybe in testing? Something like that. Let me know in the chat, right? Let me know in the chat while I try to figure out why this stupid streaming thing never really works that way, how it should. And we will figure this out immediately, hopefully, right? So let's see what we can do. In any case, right? In any case, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna show you some things that will really kickstart your career in software engineering, right? And we're gonna take a deep dive that is in your mind probably. It's probably in your mind already. And yeah, this thing is just isn't working, right? I hate computers. If you are somebody that also hates computers, and that's a good reason to become a developer, to be honest, right? If you just hate software in a specific way, Um, even if you don't hate it yet, right? There we go. There we go. Okay, all right. Even if you don't hate it yet, you might hate it soon because the more you work with software, the more you start to hate it, right? Even if it's just for the reason that you feel like, oh, I could build a better piece of software, and maybe I should build my own streaming software. But for many of you, the thing is that you come from a place, maybe you're a plumber, and you want to change career, then this stream today is for you. Sorry again for the delay. I promise you next time I'll figure this out. I'll figure out all the doodads and the thingamabobs. Right? So now we're live. Okay, we got it, ladies and gentlemen. But before we dive in, right, I want to hear from you. What's your situation? Okay, I have the chats now set up. I can see the chats. I've made it. Right? Are you just working some random job? Do you work in an IT related field? Do you have any college degree, university kind of thing going, right? Share that with you so we can adapt a little bit what we have going here to that situation, right? That's the idea. That's the idea that I can help you specifically because everybody's a little different, right? Also, if you are already looking for a job, right? If you are in the phase where you actively look for a job and you send out resumes and all the good stuff, let's drop some numbers here. How many applications did you send out? How many interviews did you get? And how many job offers did you get? That's an important, what's that called, right? A key indicator, right? So maybe you sent out 100 applications, right? You got to 10 interviews and you got 0 job offers, right? Let me know. Let me know. Okay. So I see John here. John, what's your numbers? John from Instagram. I see that you're watching. I see it over there. Right. The stream is live. Tell me your numbers. Okay. I'm now gonna lay out the strategies that will not only help you find your first job, software engineering, but also ensure that it actually fits you. Right. Because, okay, you want to become a software engineer, that's fine, but if you hate it, not great. So we'll also cover how to leverage a unique strength, how to network efficiently, and really how to shine in the interview process. Because it's all fun and games here. If you go to interview after interview, but you look like an idiot, then nobody's going to give you the job, right? So the idea is that you know what to do after this session here. Something I need to mention here in the beginning. Success in finding your first job. You need to do more than just send out application. Right? You need to be actually proactive. You need to make connections. You need to demonstrate your passion and capabilities beyond your technical skills. Right? You've heard that before, but people, of course, you need the skills. Don't get me wrong. If you can't do the job, you don't get the job. But you need to sell yourself. Right? You need also to be somebody that I want to work with. Okay. And the trouble, or one of the things, is that the industry, right, is overflowing with opportunities. Right? There is no shortage of open jobs for you to get. Right? But at the same time, right, there are many people, right, that say, "Oh, I'm a programmer," right? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. But you also need to understand that the companies hiring get a shitload of applications each and every day, hundreds, right? Nobody is actually looking at them. Yeah, so you need to stand out, and to stand out, you need to be strategic. Yeah, you need to be resourceful, right? And you need to showcase what makes you specifically unique. Yeah, so get pen and paper ready, right? We're gonna dive into this, and this is exactly the strategy in a short form that we do with our clients, right? And they started their career in software engineering with that process, right? You need to have the proper skills first. That there is no way around that, right? You need to be actually good at what you're doing. If you suck at coding, no strategy in the world is gonna give you a job. Maybe, maybe you can weasel your way into a job, but what then, right? You can't keep the job, so that's pointless, absolutely pointless. So pretty please, everything that I'm talking about here is for when you have the actual skills. If you're not certain if you have the skills, two ways to find out. You go to 10 interviews and don't get a job. That means you don't have the skills. Or you show me your code, show me what you've done. I'll tell you, hey, are you ready to go for an interview now? Or should you work on the skills first? Because the skills are the baseline. This is the foundation. You need to be actually not super good, but you need to be good enough, right? Okay, very good. The market is full of people who think they have the skills, but they just don't, right? It sounds harsh. Oh, okay, I get it, but that's just the reality of things. And keep that reality in your mind for now. Right? There are a lot of jobs. There are a lot of people who have potato level skills, right? That apply for those jobs, and they also don't get them. Okay, good. With that out of the way, let's assume for now your skills are on point, right? If you're not sure about that, again, send me a message. Easy peasy. We can talk about it, right? So you have the skills that are good enough, and let me emphasize this: you just have to be good enough, right? That's all. But if you're good enough, and the bar is not very high in this day and age, right? That's good. Let's assume the skills are on point, but nobody knows about it. Yeah, then no dice. So the first thing you need to do is to build a useful portfolio project. What is that? That's a proper application, a proper piece of software that provides value in some way or form. Okay? Somehow. It is not a Netflix clone. It is not a to-do list. You need this application to demonstrate your skills, to prove your work experience, to show off that you can actually build software, right? And not just follow tutorials. because that's what the 500 other applicants are doing. Their portfolio consists of a to-do list, a tic-tac-toe, a Netflix clone, and a shitty e-commerce website. Right? You and 5 million other noobs have that portfolio. It's not gonna fly. The thing you should be doing, that project is going to be a stand-in for professional work experience. Okay? So it needs to be bigger and better than that. And it doesn't really matter what it is. It can be anything. Right? The important thing is that it is number one about a topic that's actually interesting to you, right? And that it's number two, it's actually useful in the real world, right? And not just some kind of random homework. An actual piece of software that is useful, provides some value to somebody. Can just be you, can be your Aunt Jackie, can be your dog. It doesn't really matter, right? But it needs to do something real. Okay, very important. And that is really the secret ingredient in portfolio projects, right? Does it actually provide some value of some sort? Or is it just an empty shell of code that actually nobody cares about? When you build something of value, right, that already gets you the foot into the door of companies. You see, you need to understand this, right? If you have a proper piece of software, best case scenario, somebody else uses it. Maybe you have 500 users or what have you. Right? That actually demonstrates that you know what you're doing. So really, right? You shouldn't bother looking for a job if you don't have that nailed down. Right? You're amongst hundreds, thousands of other people. Right? So you need to get that first. Because otherwise, if you apply for jobs, you might get the odd interview, you fail it. What's the point in that? Right? What is the actual point of that? Just to reconfirm that your skills is not a point? I don't think that makes you a happy person. I wouldn't make me. This seems like a very frustrating operation, to be honest. So let's assume for another assumption, we're building big on assumptions here today, right? Let's assume you've built that piece of software. It's pretty cool. It's a proper piece of software. It's a real thing. Not worth much, yeah, when nobody knows about your skills and your project, right? And this is really the point where you need to market yourself, right? You need to learn a little marketing, right? So here's the marketing 101 entry level class. 2 places on the internet, right, are relevant for this. It's GitHub and LinkedIn, obviously, right? On both platforms, yeah, you need to look professional as fuck, right? You can't be some la-di-da, happy day, doobly-doobly. You need to be professional, right? There can be zero, no, nada ambiguity about whether you know what you're doing or not, right? There is zero room for looking like an amateur, okay? That doesn't mean you need to be the coding god, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that you, I don't know, right, have some ages of history, but you need to look professional, right? Everything needs to look like you are a software engineer, right? What does this mean for GitHub, for example? Your account needs activity. You need the little green dots, right? Obviously, should be obvious, right? But you need a good readme.md, right? That's the text that you see when you just visit somebody visits your profile page, yeah? And here you need to talk about your experience, right? Your tech stacks, your frameworks. Yeah? So you look like somebody that enjoys fucking around with code, which you probably are, right? If you're doing this, you kind of like doing this. You just also need to present it, and your GitHub profile page is definitely a place to do that, right? That's all you need. Write some enthusiastic stuff on your front page, have activity, right? Do your commits, use GitHub, right? The longer you have a history of that, commit history, the better it is, right? That's really all you need to do on GitHub. Easy peasy, right? For LinkedIn, or maybe Xing, if you're in the German speaking region. You can also let me know if you're from Germany, Austria, Switzerland. Let me know, right? In the chat, in the comments, I can read them, right? Everything needs to look like you have experience, okay? Even if you didn't work as a programmer professionally yet, that is okay. People will hire you still. That's okay. And I'm also not telling you to lie, right? And make up things. Don't lie, right? This is a general good guideline for life. Don't lie. But the experience that you have, you should make it as spicy, as grandiose, as software related as possible, right? So if your previous job was in IT support, right? You kind of analyze and solve computational hardware problems, right? If you work in a warehouse, you work with logistic algorithms, right? You lead a team of some other workers, right? Even if it's just in your warehouse, you're a team leader. You get it, right? It's a politician approach where you inflate the thing to the maximum degree without it being a lie, right? So while we're talking about polishing your LinkedIn profile, right? I shouldn't have to tell you this. Huh? You need a professional picture of your face, right? With at least a collared shirt, okay? No selfie that you took at the beach, right? No pictures that look like you took them 10 years ago at the carnival, right? Can't have that. You want to look like a professional nerd, like a programmer, right? Is there any questions about that? If you don't have those pictures, you need to invest in yourself. You need to get a haircut, right? You get this stupid polo shirt, take 5 pictures, good to go, right? Then your tagline, like the headline that you can put on LinkedIn, should read software engineer, right? Because at that point you are already a software engineer. You're just looking for a job, okay? Keywords, right? You gotta put the keywords in, huh? And a secret sauce in some degrees, the project that you made, right? You put them as work experience because you worked on them, right? Like a one-man company, right? You built some software and that's experience, right? If you do those things, have a proper title, have the experience in, and have a proper GitHub, right? You will rank much higher in search results, right? Because recruiters and all that, they get automatic feed of potential employees, and you rank higher in that, right? But that is not enough, right? So you polish that, but you also need to, again, you need to be proactive. The final step is you need to network because, ladies and gentlemen, it's a social network. You forget about the network part of things, right? You need to figure out, okay, what company do I want to work for, right? You want to work for Airbnb, huh? Cool. You search for people that work at Airbnb, and LinkedIn allows you to do that, right? You connect them and you send them messages. Say hello, right? Get into conversation, network. And you need to go full force on this, right? Because realistically, not everybody is gonna reply, right? But those that do reply are usually pretty nice, right? So you need to build some rapport. You tell them, hey, I'm Peter. I'm thinking about joining the company, but basically before you apply, you want to ask some employees how they like the company, if it's a good fit, da da da. Just have an honest conversation. Right? We have guidelines in our program on how to do that if you struggle with that, but really it's just like talking to people in a bar, right? It's just on LinkedIn. Have an honest conversation. Yeah? Get to know the person, right? And then ask them, hey, I'm interested in that role. Who should I talk to? Or maybe they can introduce you to somebody higher up, right? Might be the manager, might be team leader of a specific department, right? Whatever. You work away to somebody that knows about the things, right? And once you talk to them, you do the same thing. First get to know the person, right? Have a few questions, a little back and forth, and then, only then, if you have that person, you hand over your CV directly to the man in charge, right? Now, the chance of getting an interview after that are 1,000 times higher, right? So if you do that procedure, if you get the CV on the desk of the proper like team lead or whatever, you'll probably get an interview, right? So don't get me wrong, this is still a lot of work, right? The networking part is a lot of work, right? And you'll send your CV out not you send your CV out not 100 times a day, yeah, less often, but the results will be very much better, right? So that's an idiot-proof system here. Huh? If you want to dive deep, huh? If you want to dive deep into this, if you want to say, hey, how the fuck do I get an interview? Right? Or how do I do this? Right? You can comment about LinkedIn down below. Right? I'll review your profile and tell you what you can optimize. Okay? You just need to comment LinkedIn down below, even on or like even if you're watching this on replay, right? And I'll for free, I'll optimize your LinkedIn profile so you have a better chance of landing the job. Okay, it's not hard. It's not hard. You just need to do the right thing. And if you're just a dude that sits all day in front of LinkedIn, let's say, scrolls through job postings and just clicks easy apply on each one of those, you're not gonna get an interview, right? That time should be spent networking, my friend. And if you actually do this for 1 hour a day, or maybe 1 hour a day is enough, right? You'll extend your network. You learn, get to know a few people that will have an impact, where you can actually funnel your CV to, and then you have a very high chance of getting an interview, right? And now I'm doing this here. What I'm doing now at this right moment, because I've seen so many people just bitching and moaning, right? Like little babies. Oh, the market is tough right now. Oh, it's impossible to get an interview. The process is rigged. Dude, no, it just like the truth is very often people just do the wrong thing, right? If you're just sending out tons of applications and you hear nothing back, it's not the market, right? It's you. You're doing it wrong. Huh? If you have a lower than 10% reply rate, right? That means for every 100 applications that you send out, you get less than 10 interviews, right? Then you need to fix your approach. You need to fix your shit. Right? I'm here to help you with that, right? So if you want some help, then message me, write a comment, right? I look at your GitHub, I look at your LinkedIn, I look at your CV, and I guarantee you there are a few things that we can change to get your reply rate up by a lot, right? So if you want some help, you just need to reach out to me, right? You just send me a little message. It's not hard. I'm here to help, okay, right? This is why I'm doing this, why I'm doing all the live streams. This is why I work with my clients day in and day out to get them jobs with that system that actually works. And dude, yeah, if you're just blindly sending them out and you don't get a good reply rate, anything below 10% is not great. Fix your approach. Let me help you with that. Get a job. Okay, you can do it. We can do it together if you want. Always send me a message, send me an email, find me on my homepage, find me on YouTube, find me on Instagram. I'm here, right? So you should now know how to do that. If that approach makes sense and you want some help, message me. If the approach makes sense, you don't want my help, do it yourself. If you feel like that doesn't work for you and I'm stupid,